In today's video, I'm going to be rebuilding this Craftsman 44985 Seaman ratchet. This is a 1/2-inch drive ratchet, and it's also a V-Series ratchet, an authentic aged V-Series. I say that because when we talk about V-Series tools now, a lot of people can associate V-Series with the new V-Series style. But before I go into that, if you haven't already, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, as well as check out my channel content for more. And hey, when it comes to tools and cars, have fun. So when we talk about V-Series tools, the one thing that a lot of people will tell you is that it's not the tool itself. It was actually a manufacturer, Eastco, which turned from, I think it was Moordrop Forge, which eventually turned into Eastco, which then turned into the Apex Tool Group. Now, V-Series was just an identification number that Sears had used. And it's not really something that many people utilize or know as common knowledge. The V-Series, it's not what you think it would be. It's just a little stamping on the back of a ratchet or tool with the letter V. You have flying V's or standard V's or RHFT V's or whatever. But the V-Series ratchet is considered a part of a certain era, most notably between the 50s through the 80s. The iconic V-Series Craftsman ratchet. And a lot of those could be considered possibly these different styles here, including this one. These are all different versions of V-Series that I have. This particular rendition of the Craftsman 1/2-inch drive ratchet, this is an 84 tooth ratchet, and unfortunately this is not considered a part of that V-Series. It was outside of that window, the predecessor to this one here. And this could be considered the last of the V-Series. Just a little history lesson, as it has a VL and a 44809. And then we go into the modern day with the 120 tooth ratchet. This is also not a V-Series. This is a Stanley Black & Decker rendition of this Craftsman ratchet, full polish as well. And it's kind of, I haven't really used it much. I've used it in the field a couple of times, but I haven't really used it as much, as it's not really nice feeling. I mean, yeah. It's kind of a cool piece of history when you look back at the old Craftsman ratchets. But that's not my primary focus. This V-Series is very different from this V-Series, which I do have a 1/2-inch drive version of, which I can show you later on in the future, or I can do an unboxing on those. But for this one, it skipped a tooth, and I'm going to rebuild it. So stay tuned. We're going to be rebuilding this 44985 Craftsman ratchet from the 60s and early 70s. I mean, before you toss it away, this one, there you go. This one is grinding quite a bit, so I mean, we do have to open it up and see how bad it is. I do have the 3/8 version. I'm looking for the 1/4 inch, and if I can ever find it, I want the flex head versions. But this is the one I'm going to be dealing with. I actually got this the other day for less than $5, so I mean, for what it is, it's kind of cool. So we're going to see if we can rebuild it and fix it up. I'm going to start at the head of the ratchet, the side where it doesn't turn. I have the 1/2-inch extension on here, and as you can tell, it's just grinding away, and it's not actually ratcheting. Sorry, it's not focusing. So we're going to start by opening it up. There's a little clip right here that you can access. As you can see, the little tabs here, we can just pop that up and out using a pair of needle nose pliers, and this should come up just like that, which is actually really neat. It's super simple. Now we just got to somehow get this up and out. Oh, there we go, it's up and out. So that's the little retaining piece that holds it in place. So this doesn't look very good. That looks like it got a couple of sheared teeth on it. Let's see if we can get a view of that.
Yeah, that doesn't look very good and very promising, which means I might actually have to take this up to Sears to get rebuilt because I need new internals. On this side here, we're going to just pull apart this. There's 2 notches right here on the inside, and this shouldn't be too difficult. This just comes right up and out. Let's see if we can do that right now. Oh, there we go. And it's up and out. It's held in by that same type of style clip. We're going to set that aside, and here's the switch. And the switch looks okay. Might a little bit of cleaning up to do, but otherwise it looks just fine. Now we're gonna pop this out. Just my tip is just give it a tap. And if it doesn't come out the first time, take your needle nose pliers and just yank it right out. It looks like that is corroded in there. Look at that. Here's the ball. And here is the inside. Let's see if we can get that spring out. We might have to have a pick or a spring. Oh, nope. Look at that corrosion, man. Oh, we got the spring out. And that looks intact. Okay. So, now with all the internals, I'm going to go give this a spray of brake clean. I'm not going to stick it in some ultrasonic cleaner because I don't think I need to do that. But I'm going to just brake clean everything down and see how it all comes together. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And yeah. Now that the components have been cleaned up, we're just going to try and reassemble it and see how well it works. Now we're just going to re-put that spring in, along with that ball bearing right up on the inside there. I'm still going to take it to Sears only because they're going to give me new parts anyways, and unfortunately, because of how this is, I'm going to need those new parts. I mean, there's a 2 sheared off in there, so now with it down, I'm going to stick the switch inside of it. If I can get it in there without the ball moving. So I'm going to take the ball, set it inside there. Okay, that's no issue. Now we're going to take the little piece of metal on top, set it down. I'm going to take my flathead from the top, push down on my little piece of metal to hold that ball down. We're going to take the pawl, and I hope you can see this. We're going to take the pawl and just slide it right in. It better go in. Oh yeah. How about that, folks? That was interesting. Pull this out. Oh yeah. It's all in. Booyah. Needs some lubricant, but now it's working. I'm going to turn this over and just stick this in there. And you'd want to stick lubricant in it, so I have some lightweight oil here, machine oil. And I'm just going to stick the oil up and around. Since I used brake clean to clean off whatever lubricant was on it, I'm just going to stick that oil in between the gears. Okay, same for, and I dropped it. Same for down here. We're just going to stick it down in here. And I'm going to pick that up before it starts leaking oil. Slide all this together. Oh yeah, you hear that? It sounds so much better. Actually, I'm going to put this on first, flip this over during the assembly. I'm sorry. I'm going back and forth. I'm going to use the switch to kind of line it up to be in the center here. I'm going to take the little C clip here, just compress it just like this so it's right around the edges. And then what we're going to do is just carefully push it down just so it lines up in place like that. See how that moves so much better now? I can lift up this cover right here. I'm going to lay a little more machine oil in there. Just like that. Take this C-clip here and line it up just like this. Take my needle nose pliers to the very end. Kind of slide this one down as well. Boom. Slide it down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How do you like that one? Even with a broken tooth. It's working again. So think twice before you get rid of these old ratchets. I mean, holy moly. Now let's stick the extension on it. There we go. Awesome. Awesome sauce. No reason to get that new Chinese one when you've got this one that lasts forever. And I mean, it lasts forever. Did you not just see me rebuild it?
So it really isn't that hard. Unfortunately, the internals to this particular ratchet were slightly shot. I did eventually get it rebuilt by Sears, as you can see by the anvil being so clean. I did end up getting it rebuilt. I also got rebuilt this Craftsman 43785, which is the 3/8 drive version. And the 1/4" version that I've had forever. You can see it's different colored switch pawl. But these are all the same era. These were made forever, trust me. These were made for a long time before they switched over to this style. When these were made for a long time. These were made up until like 2021 or something like that before Stanley Black & Decker finally decided to change it. But it's really a cool piece of testament to its history when you talk about the difference in this ratchet to this ratchet to this ratchet to this ratchet all the way to this one. And then, you know, this one. If you don't know, there is a funny piece of history to this too. A little bit of trivial knowledge, if you would. Obviously, there was a lawsuit apparently that took place many years ago between a Sears employee who created the ball, the quick release mechanism, and Sears ended up taking it, and, you know, he went to a huge class action lawsuit for it. But if you want to look into that, you can look up the Sears Craftsman versus this one guy lawsuit that took place all the way into the 80s. Otherwise, I hope this video really helped, and I hope you found it enjoyable. As normal, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I am a little congested in this video, so don't hesitate to comment, like, and subscribe, as well as check out my channel content for more. And hey, have fun!